Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It is February 2nd, Saturday evening. I just finished a 6-day work week, and I am so happy to be on a little 1-day and 1-evening break. The good news about the 6-day weeks is that we get the next Friday off, so I will have a 4-day week next week. But I've been away far too long and have a lot to share and a new resolution to talk about. So I hope you're able to visit and maybe enjoy your own stitching while we chat. Just excited to be into February. January is always a long month. So we're excited to say this is February. We're moving towards spring. Ironically, here in Texas, with all the bitter cold in the northern and midwestern part of our country, we are having warm weather. It feels like spring here this weekend. So anyway, February is here and we are glad. So lots of projects to share. I had said that I would talk about my my plans for 2019. And I have a few to share, but I have not gotten everything together that I had hoped I would. And that brings me to talk about the resolution. I need to get organized, and I need to start with my stitching. So I am hoping to be putting each project in either a plastic type bag, and I don't have any to show you, or a project envelope. And I have some beautiful fabric I bought to make 2 project bags according to Vonna's wonderful instructions. Vonna, thank you for sharing so freely. And of course, I didn't put the fabric here to show you. I will run get it in just a minute. So hopefully this week and the next, I will be able to cut out my fabric and buy some fusible batting and some Velcro and get those made. But I want to know where my whips are and which whips I have, and also know where my patterns are when someone asks me about one of them, one of my daughters or a friend, or just my own reference. So I had planned to show you the cart in which I had stashed a lot of my projects, but while I was at work today, my dear husband took all of that junk and placed it in a small bedside chest of drawers that he had purchased. So my junky cart is almost empty, so you don't have to look at it. And now I can make the project bags and add some more plastic bags and truly get organized. So I hope when I see you next time that I can actually show you all those whips beautifully organized. I know you've seen my floss organization, and thankfully that is more accessible. I still have a lot of floss to put away, but now we're going to get the projects organized. But let me show you the whips I have today. You've seen all of these recently, I think, but these are the 3 that I want to finish first, and then 1 new start that we'll work on as it calls. The first one, which I've been working on at work, is the Heartstring Sampler Renew Every Morning. And the only way I can do this one at work is when I'm able to sit outside where the lighting is really good, because I'm doing this on a 36 count linen, and it's smaller than I thought. But this is my progress so far. I had started the gold and yellow flower over here and realized that I had errors, so I spent Friday's lunch hour ripping that flower out. I hope the rest of this is okay. And people, it dawned on me yesterday when I was ripping out that on 36 count, maybe I should have used just 1 strand. But now that I've done this much, there is no way I'm going to change it. And as I look at it, I think I like this coverage better. If you don't mind, comment what you normally do on 36 count. Do you normally do 2 strands over 2 or 1 strand over 2? I think at this point I'm leaving it alone and hoping to get more progress on this, but it did not even occur to me until I was ripping out yesterday that I could have gotten by with one thread over two. Anyway, this is like my throw in my bag project for work. The next one that I had put away after working a good bit on during my holiday break was my big toe, Apostles' Creed, and I'm doing mine in the monochromatic. It is Midnight by The Gentle Art, and I've shown you this before, but the variations in the color never show well on the video. So let me show you what I have. I have done 5 lines so far. And this is the one I was working on my new stand. Well, my new frame, excuse me. And I took it off to put my Thea Governor icon piece on there and put this in my fanny frame, and it worked beautifully. But then Mary, Queen of Scots, called, so this one got put away. But as you know, this will be a lot of words. It will be the whole Apostles' Creed with some border at the top and at the bottom, and I will remind you, excuse me, of how big this will be. We just really want this hanging in our home because of what it says and what we believe. But it is a lot of blue and a lot of letters, but fun stitching. And I think I'll like it better in my fanny frame because I can end when I'm through with a letter and start another letter a little more quickly. This is a beautiful 32 count white or off-white linen that I purchased at my needlework store for this project. It's fun though to stitch. I enjoy stitching letters, I have to say. Then let me show you Mary. I really think that I am going to keep Mary up almost as much as I can to finish her. When I pick her back up, I remember how much I love her. It's such a fun stitch. And I thought I was going to get bored with the red, but so far, no. This is Papillon Creations, Mary, Queen of Scots. And if you're new to my channel, you will need to hear that I love the country of Scotland, have family roots there, also have a daughter who studied there for graduate school. I was able to make 3 trips over while she was there. And so this has a lot of significance to me, but I'll show you what I just finished and then I'll take it out of the frame. Finished the French Palace just this week, and this little motif here will be repeated 2 more times under the palace. And then there will be some small motifs here, but below here is going to be the phoenix bird, and I'm looking forward to stitching that. That's going to be a lot of fun. But let me get this out so that you can see the whole piece. And it is another large piece. So you're going to see the middle. So I had done the letter Y, as you know if you've seen videos before, to get me lined up in the middle of the piece. But you can see what motifs are finished. The beautiful center medallion with the crown. And there's Mary with her falcon glove and her falcon. The Scottish thistle, the Scottish castle under the thistle. And then if you look here, you will see the fleur-de-lis above the French palace. Excuse me for wiggling so much. And then the delightful unicorn. So from here, I will finish the motif under the palace. And then, as I said, I need to fill in the small ones here, but I would love to get down here to the phoenix bird and then move over to her quote. And I've talked to you about that before, but it says, and my end is my beginning. And if you look at the graph again, the pattern, you will see there are just a few small motifs here between the fleur-de-lis and the palace. I can do those, I think, this week. And there will be a border here, but I will probably just do this much of the border and start it on the phoenix because I just love, I think that will be a fun, fun stitch. So there is Mary. And I'm looking so funny at my new camera. I think I'm looking here and the camera's here. Forgive me, I'm never going to figure this out. Now, this is the one that called me from my drawer. I had done, and you've seen it, I know, the anniversary sampler, Long Dog Samplers. And the one I really wanted to do was this large Quaker. But I decided to go a little out of my comfort zone and pick some brighter, deeper colors for this Quaker. And I had purchased this beautiful gray linen when we were in Scotland at John Lewis, the department store. And so this is my gray linen. And you will see my little start on the Quaker. I don't know why it just had to be started. Start-itis, you know, that's my malady. But if you'll see, I had my artistic daughter who does color so well choose my colors, and I'm only showing you two here, so the mystery will be seeing the others later. But the squirrel, I thought it was a bunny at first, but it's a squirrel standing on the little design here. And as you can see, I've had to start frogging, and I've got some blue here. I don't know if that's going to come out. I hope so. I was 1/2 stitch off. 1/2 stitch. So this is all going to have to be ripped, as is this. I'm just brokenhearted. But what this will be is like a vine going up here. And then there's just a crown here at the top. There is something about these long dog designs that is so satisfying to stitch. It must be the geometry of the repeated pattern, and of course she throws in the whimsical animals. But this outline just went so quickly. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thought I was going bombs away on the vine motif until I looked at it Thursday night and went, oh my goodness, 1/2 stitch off. Is that not ridiculous? So there we go. That's got to come out. Hopefully when I see you again, that will be out and the blue put back in and the crown installed. And then if you can see, it may be too small, but I will go to this motif above the squirrel. And then I think I'll work over here because I just love that one. I want to do it. I'm just picking the colors as I go, but I do have 5 deep, beautiful jewel tones that she picked out for me. So I hope I'll have good things to share there. Now let me show you the new baby blanket that is in process for our expected in May granddaughter. Since I've seen you, we found out that we're having a granddaughter. It is our son and his wife's first baby, but I'm boring. I picked the same loops and threads yarn that I had used for our grandson, and this is the beginning of her beautifully soft, I won't say beautiful, but beautifully soft baby Afghan. I want to say this colorway is called Orchid, but oh goodness, guys, I'll have to double check that. But it is Loops and Threads Abbey yarn. And as I said, I'm rather boring. I'm doing the grit stitch again because it's in my head. I don't have to think about it. This is something I can stitch while I'm watching something that I need to pay attention to, or when my eyes are tired from cross-stitching the smaller pieces. So Loops and Threads, finish this skein, and hopefully that will be big enough for a small baby Afghan, and I will do the same type of border that I did before, but I will probably do one that's a little more ornate, a little frillier since it's a little girl. We are so grateful and so blessed to know that that will be an exciting event for our family this year. So if you will give me one moment, I'm going to pause and go get my beautiful fabric for the project bags, and then I think we will round it up for today. Before I go get those project bag fabrics, let me show you what I am sitting here with. And I see that one or two of these are going to have to be dead-headed, but I planted a bulb right after Christmas, and this is an Amaryllis. Can you look at this gorgeous bloom? How many we have. And as one dies, another comes back. I have never had more fun with something I've planted. This was on clearance after Christmas at Target, and the pot came with it. It's just been so much fun. So I wanted to share that with you because in January, it's always good to have flowers in the house, isn't it? Let me pause. I'll run get the fabric and be right back.